Out in order. Roll call. Can you do the roll call for us, Mr. Sharretts, please?
Certainly. Wade Pollock.
Here.
Peter Lake is not present. Joseph Catrombone.
Here.
Caitlin Foy is not here. I know that she's going to be trying to attend via Zoom. We will note when she gets here if she's able to. And then Rose Vanicola.
Here.
We will have a moment of silence. And say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda items, item 4.1, consider approving the agenda. And
Second.
the motion was made by member Vanicola and seconded by member Catrombone. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Item 5, public comment for agenda items only. There is no public here. Item 6.1, consider approving the minutes from the October 2nd, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
And a second? Motion was made by member Catrombone and seconded by member Vanicola. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 7.1, Public Works Update. Mr. Sharretts, please.
Sure, I'll just share a few things that occurred during the month of October. We did continue to visit the parks and the trails and the other properties 3 times a week for inspection and trash cleaning. Normally, come November, we move back to maybe twice a week. The parks aren't being used as much and the staff are all out collecting leaves, so it gets a little trickier. The restrooms at Drexel Lodge are usually shut down right around Thanksgiving. So that's when we expect that we're going to be closing it. We watch the weather. I mean, we try to get through the soccer association season because they use the lodge heavily out there. We do just have to watch to make sure that the temperatures don't freeze to the point that the pipes might freeze. But we're watching that again. That'll probably be about Thanksgiving. The bocce ball court, we did install the new bench that came in to replace the one that was destroyed by the limb that had fell. So that was installed. We were able to install that before Marple Newtown Recreation's end of season games and tournaments were done there. So they did that. We do still blow the bocce ball court off when we know that there's a group that's going to be using it. It does get leaves that come down at this time of year on it. So we go out and blow it off ahead of time. There's a broken piece of playground equipment at Brookside Park. It's small. It's one of the little musical attachments to the thing on the bottom. Somebody had cut off the 2 little drumsticks, so we're having that replaced at this point. They're on order, and we'll install that as soon as they come in. There was a Gable Park. Unfortunately, a parent reported it to us. There was, after one of the storms recently, there was a tree limb that was hanging up above the playground set. So we were able to get out there. As soon as we were notified about it, we were able to get out and get that down. It took the afternoon to be able to get it. It was wedged pretty high. So I don't think it was going to be coming down anytime soon, but we got it down to play it safe and make sure that was gone. After, I know you'll be talking about the Rock Snake project, know that about a week after the project was done, we did go out and seal it as we'd talked about. So the project, the art project, is sealed with a clear coat out there. And then earlier in the season, some trees had been taken down both at what we call Delmont Park. It's just the open space near the end of Delmont Road. And also at Newby Park, there were trees that were down. You had seen the logs that were there. We did remove those recently. The ground was hard enough that we were able to get equipment in, and we pulled them out. So that has been cleared, and that is my report.
I noticed there were two tires someone had dumped in Brookside. You,
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were notified about those tires and then we came and took care of them. There was actually right around the same time, there was a tree that had come down across Fox's Run, right near where the tires were. And so we opened all that up and removed that tree.
oh, wow.
There was also, unfortunately, over at Newbie Park, someone, although we've put bollards up to try to stop four-wheelers from getting in, a four-wheeler did manage to get in and left tire marks on the basketball court. There's not a lot we can do about it. We're going to watch and see how it wears off.
Is it possible to put more bollards in, closer together? Or are you gonna impede some progress?
The challenge is I'm not 100% sure how they even got in at this point. I mean, we've got bollards from any of the driving routes. So it came in from somewhere that I suspect a bollard would be tough. Or if I put many more bollards up, I won't be able to get the grass cutting equipment in.
Right. It's a shame. And the bathroom at Gable is open 12 months?
It is, yeah. So that's true. I'm glad you brought that up. We do not close that one down because it's connected to our building. It stays warm enough inside that we don't have to worry about the pipes freezing.
All right. Item 7.2, review committee support of trunk or treat event at Firehouse on October 25. You were there, Rose. What did you think? Yeah, Rose brought up the fact that maybe we could have a board even, I think, of stuff that we do, and so we can talk, because people do stop and talk. I think they have to change the flow. If it was a line a mile long out front, it took forever to get in. And then once you're in, there wasn't a whole lot to do. When you went out, you had to go back outside anyway, and you were like free on your own. But it was a great turnout. EAC was there. Who else was there?
Librarians
Oh, right, Red Cross, yeah. There was someone else there. I can't remember who they were. It was smaller than last year's, but still a pretty cool event. And a lot of kids. It was packed. It was, it was packed the whole time I was there.
there.
Before it started, they were lined
Till
up.
6.
And we had the best banner there. Yeah. So item 8.1, discussion and possible action regarding the dedication and or plaque to commemorate or identify the rock snake at Newbie Park. Did you guys have a chance to discuss that at all? Or, can we have a plaque made up saying, the companies that supplied stuff and the teachers' names on it? Perhaps,
Yeah, I think we would have to run that by the board.
okay.
Um,
You want me to create something and send it to you?
yeah, just kind of what you think you want to do. I'm assuming, like what I wasn't really sure what you're looking at trying to do. Are you looking at a plaque that's kind of down in the ground next to it? Or are you looking at something that stands? I mean, one thought I had is if it was something that was kind of, this sounds. When you go to a cemetery that has like a plaque that's in the ground, like,
Yeah.
if it would be that way, I would think for mowing purposes, it could be very easy to maintain.
Oh, you go over it, right?
You
right,
just
I
go
didn't think
over it
about
because I
that,
think
yeah.
you can go over the snake even and maintain. And so it would be an easy way. It sounds terrible the way I said that, but anyway, at least you understand what I'm trying to get at is like that, like a memorial type of plaque that you just put there in the
Right.
ground might be one option. And it would kind of fit with what the rock snake is itself, because it's, you know, it itself is low and
In the ground.
In the
right,
ground
right,
that way.
And it was designed for maintenance.
so what, I didn't know what you were looking at before I went too far with that. So if I can just get some direction of what you guys are looking to do, and then we can take it before the board and then go.
What I envisioned, to be honest, was just like two pieces of aluminum angle iron out of the ground, and then you could make on the machine upstairs that you made our badges out of, something in plastic that, you know, if it broke or it was damaged, you could easily
Oh, okay.
cheaply replace it, because we don't know still what's gonna happen to the rock snake at that park, because there is some minor vandalism. Will somebody hurt it in some way? Hopefully not. But that might be a way to go, whereas it's gonna cost a brass
Yeah.
plaque. I don't know how much that would cost. Is it expensive to do a plaque, you think, or?
Well, I would try to find a way to do one that was less expensive, you know, than
All right,
than a headstone kind of thing, but we'd find something that would like kind of work. Yeah, they can be very expensive, but I think we could do something that was less. George mentioned we could try to do a street sign type of a thing that, you know, maybe make it a little bit lower. You know,
Yeah, because I mean, if we did something that was more like a street sign size, you know, it could be on a little wooden post or something, but you could put anything on it you want. They
Yeah.
could print it, you know, with exactly whatever info you wanted on
right.
it.
All right,
I mean, it wouldn't look like a no parking sign. It would have, you know, it could have pictures or,
yeah, you
Or
could
those
take
kind
a
of things.
picture of the rock snake, put up on it, and then have whatever wording you wanted, so that
okay,
it was pretty clear what everything was with that.
all right,
I mean, there's lots of options,
right.
so.
Item 8.2, discussion and possible action regarding the possible enhancements of driver's sight line of steps from upper soccer fields that empties out into the pavilion. So I tried to reword this where it was kind of specific as to what I was saying. Did you look at it? We would have to put a sign up and,
Yeah, I think we still have the same problem in regards to, you know, if we do an official cross, it's in the middle of it's in the middle of the area. So I think that maybe I don't know if we can do maybe a sign that just says, watch for pedestrians, just in general, but not have it as a true crosswalk. You know, it's the problem is they're emptying into a parking lot. But it's also the drive lane through
yes,
the park. So you have multiple things going on there, and there's no landing spot directly across from it, right?
right.
And so that's some of the challenge that we have at that location. I don't know if you have anything else you would add.
no, that's, and that is the challenge. I mean, you know, there's nowhere really to send it if it was an official crosswalk. We do have a Watch Children sign up currently. I mean, there's more signage we could put up, but you know, it'll be more signage.
Yeah,
And,
that's-
and even, you know, I would be concerned about looking at some kind of like a speed hump would be a concern for me because so many people walk through it, it would be potentially a tripping hazard.
Oh, right, the other way, yes.
Didn't we talk last time about shrubs being potentially removed to
Yeah.
improve the sight line?
Yeah,
Removed? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you know, removal of vegetation is certainly an option.
option.
Yeah.
all right, shall we remove it from the agenda? And I guess, you know, George, you can just check it out and see if,
We'll keep an eye on it and see
Okay.
if we can figure out something that we can do. You know, I'm aware of what the situation is. I'm just not sure what the solution is. That's,
right,
you know,
Yeah, and Wade, if there is a time that you're going to be out at the park, that you want to let me know you're going to be there. If there's a particular spot that maybe, you know, that vegetation should come out, I can spot it with you and,
Okay.
and we could look and see what, you know, what improvements we could make.
Okay. Item 8.3, discussion and possible action regarding painting mini murals on parking spots at Greer Park or other township property. So I don't know if anyone had a chance to go take a look at Greer Park parking lot. I think Caitlin probably would have gone over there. I did look at it. It doesn't look that bad.
It's actually in better shape than I remembered it in my brain.
That's what I thought as
Yeah,
well.
so, I think you could probably get away with doing that.
Okay. And we do have, I did send you pictures. I sent pictures in of murals that were, yeah, there's the, can you? It's
Yeah.
just. So there's pictures. These are at the Christian school. They might be upside down. Not perfect, but these are examples of murals that were at the Christian school. Peter and I met there a couple weeks ago. It's Pinkalicious, a Saturday morning cartoon or something. That's the George, the monkey, Curious George, yeah. That's the girl's name, I guess. And that's the Beatles, 45 records, pretty cool. Hey Jude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not, that wouldn't be my choice of, you know, things I'd want to see there, but, you know, how will we go about this? You know, I'll try and get over to O'Hara and take pictures of theirs as well. And do we want to have like the best examples? You know, maybe we go to one of those schools and say, okay, we'll pick 3. I don't know how many parking spots we want to paint. The township would have to supply the paint, of course, and the students would supply the labor. We'd be there to help and clean up.
We want to have them come up with ideas.
You think?
And maybe, you know, we'll consider them and pick top ones that.
Yeah.
we're in agreement with.
Who, and then we would need, which school are we going to go to? You know,
It's typically like elementary school. or
One,
middle school age.
you know, you might choose on something like this, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you might choose on something like this to make it kind of like a contest
Yeah,
and let.
That's what Joe had just suggested.
Oh, I'm sorry, maybe I missed, but I would probably go with older students if I
Yes.
did that.
That's what I was just gonna say, yeah.
You know, because not that, I don't think elementary students do good art, they do great art, but I'm thinking if you went with, we've done several things that we've aimed at elementary kind of age
Yes.
students. We could aim something at a little bit older students. And we have, you know, George was just informing me that there's actually 6 spots that are dedicated for the township over there. And if you wanted to, if you did at high school level, you have 3 high school levels in town of 3 different schools
Right.
that you could pick. You could go Episcopal Academy, Delaware County Christian School, and the high school, and do 2 spots for each school as a possibility. And I'm just throwing out an idea just to, not saying this is what you need to do, but just an idea of how
That's a
you
great
could
idea.
potentially,
I like the idea of making a contest of it and
and
really
Yeah.
get people involved.
you just have to then decide who your judges are on the contest and and what your parameters are that you have to do.
We do a township like vote on a website.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be, I don't know what kind of traffic we would get. I mean, if the township puts it on there, we could push it out ourselves by just copying and pasting it to.
Put it like on
the
on
local.
the website or.
We could do I think we have the ability to do kind of like a short survey kind of thing and like make it a vote kind of thing and with our communications person. And so we could push it out a couple different ways. And then do QR codes to have people be able to go back to the voting site.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Yes,
So they'd have to come up with artwork prepared in advance, submit, and
yeah, so it would be a fairly drawn out process.
not super expensive.
No, and if we did it right online and we used that information, we don't have to go through, we could actually go dual path and have the artwork come home one path, and then the other path would be us approving it, having the supervisors approve it. They don't need, they don't rely on one or the other. They're not mutually exclusive as far as the schedule path goes. Could kind of expedite this and have it done in this.
We would probably have to do an initial review to make sure the things that can get voted on are appropriate,
Yeah.
but from there, I think.
And if they're doing it in the school, you would assume they're not, but I think you're right, yeah, yeah. Yes, you never know.
Because those votes could get hijacked pretty quickly,
Right,
so.
right. All right,
You might even suggest that the school submit the top 5. Like they have to figure out how they want to submit their top 5 choices.
Right.
And then that narrows it down to, 5 choices from each school,
Each
and
school.
2 will be the ones that get done. Or, I'm picking something arbitrary there, but as a way to kind of, if you have 30, 40 students at a school that all do a submission, it might be hard to get an answer as to what your top ones are, but if you narrow it down, that may be a way to do it,
Yeah,
and let
good
the
idea.
school narrow it to give it to you, and then, that way you probably have a pretty good chance of getting it narrowed, without having to worry about, what the drawing is.
right,
I'm happy to draft something.
all right, all right, cool.
And I might suggest that you think about like a theme that you would want, like you may give 2 or 3 themes that it would need to be around so that you can kind of control like what you want it to look like. And it just, again, my brain just happens to be going in this direction tonight, so you let it flow and then ignore it if you want to. But you might take it like, some kind of environmental theme, at the park, or you might pick, take environmental and a recreation. So it's a mix of environment and recreation in a park that we're trying to do both. If we pick that park. And so that was kind of what my thoughts were.
All right. For wildlife even, or anything.
For all the historical.
Yeah, that's true too, yeah. I don't know that we want to limit their creativity in any way. Because when I was in like 10th or 11th grade, the art teacher let us take the panels out of the ceiling, and I painted an Alpo can, dog food can on mine. And it was all different art. It was pretty cool.
We
But,
did that
yeah,
in
maybe-
6th grade.
maybe-
Yeah, we did that.
It was a good feeling, yeah. And, I might not have been able to create something environmental or something, fit some requirement. We all, I did it after like Andy Warhol, the Campbell soup can. I don't know that we want to limit the artwork. I guess we can talk about it next month, and then hopefully we can reach out at the beginning of the year to the schools, because next meeting will be December. Maybe we take action at that point and start reaching out to get this information to the schools. So if you can have something,
I think if that's the case, my recommendation would be that maybe what you want to do is at one of the next 2 meetings, or not next 2 meetings, because there's one Monday and I don't think you're ready to do that, but have something before the board,
okay,
just to make sure that before you start going down the road, that the board is willing for this kind of a project, but just kind of give them ideas of what you're thinking. And then make sure they're they're in agreement, and then we go forward.
At item 8.4, discussion and possible action regarding support of township's ongoing neighborhood tree planting efforts. So, I can't, you're going to Kaylee, where's it at? It's Brookside
It's
Ashley.
mostly Ashley.
Ashley.
and I signed up. I'm a tree tender, so I'm going to be there supporting. It's a Saturday morning. I think what's it, 8 o'clock it starts? Or 9?
I believe it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
And it's
I
on
think it's
Ashley.
right.
It's this. Sorry.
This Saturday, yeah. It's a township trying to, plant 1,000 trees. I can't remember what the
Yeah,
initiative is.
part of the initiative is, I mean, it started out with the focus of being on the fact that one of the ways that we're trying to meet our MS4 requirements, which is stormwater management, but it's also in quality of the water that goes through our system. And so part of our project for that was to plant 1,000 trees as part of our meeting our permit that we have to do for our 5-year period. So that was part of it. The other part of it was that we realized through the Shade Tree Commission and through some others that there really is a need for street trees in our community in certain neighborhoods. When you go through, there's not a lot of trees around, and trees are really good stormwater management additions. Full-grown tree drinks a lot of water, and so they help when the rain comes. They hold back a lot of that water, and so that's really important. So that's how the project got started from the Shade Tree Commission and the Environmental Advisory Group, and then so we targeted. What was the first street? Beechwood. Thank you. I knew. So we targeted Beechwood last time, and Beechwood kind of bends into Ashley. And so it's just kind of finishing out that area, that one neighborhood. I do not know where the next one will be for next year, but that's the focus of this year's to kind of finish out what we started last year.
And there's, sizable trees and, they cost a little bit of money for the neighbors.
Yeah, the township buys the tree itself, and then we ask the property owner to invest in the mulch and the water bag
Gator
and the
bag.
stakes, right?
Correct.
Yeah. The gator bag and the stakes, and I'm not 100% sure what we're paying for each tree, but I was gonna say it's about $170 per tree, so they're decent trees. And so trying to get a good head start with that. I think we're doing 39 trees this year.
And then, so Rose's husband, Rob, is on the Shade Tree Commission, and he's digging the holes, right? Prepping the holes. Great initiative. I'll be there if you guys have time. Go up. I don't know if Peter or Caitlin are listening. I did send something to Peter to be there. I think he's going to try and be there. And I guess anyone else have anything?